Hello, my name is Ken James, and welcome to Lesson 5, Continue Managing with Equipment. And what we've got here is our work management portal, and we've got our equipment icon here. I'm going to click on that. And this brings up a list of equipment that is currently in our sample system. Now, if you were starting out to get your organization's equipment loaded, we could import this data from your existing system or just from an Excel spreadsheet. And if we have the building, floor, and space locations associated with those equipment records, we could have those loaded and automatically linked to those spaces. Here we can also sort them by the type of equipment they are. If I look at this wall-mounted AED device, look at the details, we have an image of it here. We've got the location, downtown campus, first floor, room 132. And we could say, well, we've got the show on the floor plan. Let's have a look at where that is. Brings us right to that room 132, zooms us in, and this is the location of that AED device. In addition, we could have manufacturer's details, model number, serial number, etc. You see it has a barcode associated here as well. In this view, we have ways to filter. So we can look at equipment that is in service, out of service, is uncategorized perhaps. Or we can also do an explicit search. If I was to say I'm looking for electrical panel records, and I can just do a search like that. I can click on this record and do a view edit. And similar to the AED device we just looked at, we can see an image of electrical panel here, and we can show where it is on the floor plan. So it's located in this space here. But we can go even a bit further and we can say, let's see exactly what that looks like in the space. And what we've got here, here's the electrical panel. And we can also dynamically zoom around this space. What we're looking at here is Matterport, which is a 3D walkthrough type tool that you might see in real estate and those other types of applications. But there is our electrical panel that we were investigating. Okay, we can go back to our equipment record here, and we can also see we can adjust the condition assessment and its status. Now, what we might be doing in this case is doing what we call an equipment audit. You'd be walking through the facility and visiting each piece of equipment and verifying its location and so forth. And we're going to switch to a tablet mode to do that equipment audit and walk through. What we're looking at here is our tablet view, and I'm running something called Air Server with AirPlay, which allows me to project what's on my tablet onto the desktop screen here so I can record it for you folks. So you won't be able to see my mouse pointer because I'm scrolling with my finger here. But what we're going to do is we're just going to click on the Buildings button here. And we can see our list of buildings, and we're going to scroll to our 600 West Jackson. I'm going to click on the chevron there and click on the floor plans option. And what we're emulating here is we're doing an equipment audit. We're going to walk through the space. We're going to verify certain pieces of equipment that are there. And if we find any new piece of equipment, we'll make a record of it and add it to the database. And we can also insert certain safety symbols, such as the location of AEDs, fire extinguishers, exit stairwells, and things like that. I'm going to zoom in to our little server room here. And you'll notice on the left-hand side, down at the very bottom, you'll see an equipment icon. I'm going to click on that equipment icon. And what's going to appear here is some pieces of equipment that have been placed on the drawing. I'm going to use my finger just to pan over here. You'll see there's another piece of equipment. I'll zoom in on that. You can see it, the icon automatically resizes as we zoom in. You say, well, what is that? It looks like a plumbing item. I'm going to click on that. And you can see it tells me on the right-hand side, it's a water meter. Ownership is the facilities operations plumbing department with the manufacturer. If I click on the full edit form button right there, it brings up additional details. You can see the barcode. I'm going to scroll here and you can see there's actually a photograph of that water meter in the closet there in that space. Okay, I'm just going to go back to our floor plan. And using my two fingers, I can zoom in and out. As I'm doing my equipment survey and my walkthrough, I noticed that we've got a fire extinguisher on the wall here that I would like to identify. So we can go to our equipment list and we've got fire extinguisher. And if I want to add that, I just click on the plus and drag that to our location. And it puts a symbol on the drawing. And I can click on that symbol and I can change the scale of it. Let's just make it say 25%. I can change its rotation. I can move its location to be a bit more representative. And then we can accept that. And there it is. And once that fire extinguisher symbol is placed, I can click on it and it brings up the edit form here. I can click on the full edit form button at the top. It brings up the equipment record and you can see there's a spot there for a barcode. I'm going to scan the barcode while I'm standing there in front of the fire extinguisher. I'll scan that barcode and add it to our inventory. So I'm just going to zoom into a barcode here. Takes a picture of that automatically. And then at the bottom here, I'm just going to click save. And you can see our changes have been saved. Okay, I'm just going to click on the arrow in the upper left. It takes us back to our floor plan. Okay, now we're going to just go back to our equipment manager and our work dashboard. And once again, I'm using my tablet here, so I'm going to be clicking on the equipment icon. And you'll see this comes up in sort of a tile or card fashion. There's also, you can view it such like this and in more of a list fashion. And we're just going to continue on and pretend that we are doing our walkthrough or our equipment audit. And as we walk through the floor, we come across a piece of equipment and we can do a scan. So I'm going to click on this scan option at the top here. And that's going to invoke the camera that's on my tablet. I'm going to allow that. And we're just going to come in here and scan this barcode. And after a moment, you'll see it comes up and it shows me, I'm just rotating it here, it's found this piece of equipment just by me scanning the barcode. And in this case, it's a copier, photocopier. There it is there. And it's showing a location. And I can go on my floor plan and confirm it's in the location that I am scanning it to. And there it is there in this copy room. So that's one way we can do our equipment audit is we can walk the floor, scan the barcode on existing pieces of equipment, and then confirm their condition, confirm their location, and so forth. I'll just go back. Go back again. And we've come across another piece of equipment, and we're going to scan that. So I'm going to click the scan button. And we'll come in here and scan our next barcode. And it's going to search the equipment database, and it says the barcode you scanned has a value, and this was not found in the equipment inventory. So what this allows us to do is add new pieces of equipment to the database that were not currently in our inventory. So that's how we can do that, by scanning a barcode on a piece of equipment and then entering it into inventory. And how we would do that, we would just click on the new equipment icon, and then we would enter the information here, scan that barcode again, and place it into service or make some other recommendation. So that concludes lesson 5, working with equipment. Next lesson is service requests.